It's a school night, boys and girls. I'm gonna have to call your folks.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're breaking down the origins of the futuristic Batman Terry McGinnis. Some major spoilers are ahead.
For what it's worth, Bruce couldn't have chosen anyone better to put on the mask.
Creation. Unlike the many heroes and villains who first appeared in the pages of newly minted comic books, Terry McGinnis made his grand debut in a different medium altogether, TV.
There, you gotta do something. You're Batman.
I was Batman.
When the legendary Batman the Animated Series concluded, it seemed only natural that the higher-ups would want to keep the money train moving. It was an incredibly tall task to create a sequel series to arguably one of the greatest pieces of Batman media ever.
Never again.
Making things even more difficult, the crew had to make Batman much younger to appeal to teens. With those intense instructions in mind, Batman Beyond was born. As the brainchild of Bruce Timm, Paul Dini, and Alan Burnett, Beyond brought us the future of the DCAU. It didn't just introduce cyberpunk-inspired cities or suddenly darken the tone, it also created characters that would change the status quo forever. Don't get it twisted. This may have been a show about Batman, but the star wasn't Bruce Wayne. Audience would quickly be introduced to the Batman of the future, Terry McGinnis.
I think I can handle it.
Very good then, Mr. McGinnis. Welcome to my world.
A turbulent upbringing. Born to parents Warren and Mary McGinnis, Terry would grow up in the Neo-Gotham with a less than squeaky clean record. He developed a rebellious attitude after the birth of his younger brother Matt that would put him at odds with his now divorced parents, and later the law too. He'd get roped into a gang by Charlie Big Time Bigelow and developed a reputation as something of a juvenile delinquent.
Guys, this is Charlie Big Time Bigelow. Charlie was always scheming about how he was gonna make it big, and the name stuck.
And TT is Tiny Terry, cause he was always thinking small.
Terry's relationship with his father would also grow to be a tense one. The headstrong and reckless high schooler's attitude frequently clashed with the no-nonsense Wayne Powers research scientist. Terry didn't often connect with his dad, and that's something that he would ultimately regret in the end. With his difficult home life and violent temper, there's a question you might be asking yourself. How could this guy ever become Batman?
I think it cost my old man his life.
Becoming Batman. Following an argument with Warren, Terry left their house and had a run-in with the Jokers, a street gang who modeled themselves off the original Clown Prince of Crime. Rescuing his girlfriend Dana from them, Terry would get aid from none other than an elderly Bruce Wayne.
Leave him alone. And get off my property.
Though Bruce was impressive, the fight put a strain on his body, and Terry helped get him back into Wayne Manor. Not long after, he stumbled into the Batcave and discovered that Bruce used to be Batman. And not much longer after that, Bruce would kick him out of the manor. While Terry was quick to brush the experience aside, fate would ultimately lead him back. Remember what we said about him regretting not connecting with his dad? He'd heartbreakingly discovered that his father's house was broken into while he was gone. Not only that, Warren had been murdered.
I'm not afraid of those guys. We could have fought them off, me and Dad. We could have fought. I yelled at him, Mom. He grounded me and I wouldn't listen. The things I said.
The Jokers were originally believed to be the culprits, but Terry would later learn that it was carried out by the corrupt Derek Powers.
I don't need it spoiled by a snot-nosed punk. I took care of his old man, didn't I?
Determined to avenge his dad, he ended up stealing the bat suit for himself. While he initially took the suit to enact revenge, it eventually became clear that Neo-Gotham once again needed a Batman. And so with the passing of the torch, Terry officially became the newest Caped Crusader.
You're pretty strong for some clown who thinks he's Batman.
I am Batman.
Abilities. Terry's batsuit is incredibly technologically advanced.
Synaptic controls, neuromuscular amplification, flight capability. This thing might be old, but it's still cutting edge. Bet it amplifies your strength by at least 10 to 1.
Through the suit, he can achieve flight, gain amplified strength and agility, and even turn invisible. But as the saying goes, the suit doesn't make the man.
This camouflage option really soars.
While it's no secret that Terry isn't the mental or physical powerhouse that Bruce was, he does just fine on his own. He's a skilled fighter and not too shabby as an acrobat. Once he started properly training under Bruce's tutelage, his expertise only grew. All in all, he's a quick, highly skilled, and resourceful young superhero. Sure, he often relies on the suit, but he's proven that he can hang just fine without it if needed be. The prodigal son.
Terry McGinnis. Or do you prefer being called Batman?
Despite going on to operate as Batman for many years and develop a close-knit relationship with Bruce, things weren't all sunshine and rainbows. A shocking revelation played out that changed the dynamic between Terry and Bruce forever.
What's my point? My point is I never once doubted that he loved me with all his heart. My point is all those warm feelings I had for my dad, turns out they were just another lie. Another in the long list of things you've stolen from me.
Even more shockingly, it didn't even happen in Batman Beyond. After the show already ended, an episode of Justice League Unlimited titled Epilogue revisited Terry's story and dropped bombshells along the way. In a massive twist, it would be revealed that Bruce Wayne was Terry's real father. When Amanda Waller acquired some of Batman's DNA, she had it implanted into Warren McGinnis. This caused Bruce's DNA to override Warren's. So, as Terry and later Matt would be born, they'd biologically be Bruce's children. Though he'd later make peace with Bruce, this new change to Terry's lineage divided the fans. While some might have considered it unnatural and forced, others welcomed the change.
You're a stubborn piece of work, you know that. Just like my old man.
But one way or another, what we can all agree on is that Terry was meant to be Batman. Integration into comics. Only a select group of DC characters have been able to make the jump from TV to comics, and Terry is one of them. The Batman Beyond cartoon would launch several tie-in comic books that feature new and exciting stories for Terry. After that, he'd get to appear again as part of DC's greater comic book multiverse. With Countdown to Final Crisis, readers were introduced to Earth 12, a world featuring comic book versions of Terry and the Justice League Beyond. In 2010, he'd get his very own limited series that saw him fight a future version of Hush and others. But it'd only be a matter of time before Terry would get folded into the mainline Prime Earth continuity. After the 2011 New 52 reboot, Terry would debut officially in the canon through the divisive comic event called Futures End in 2014. Once that storyline ended, he'd headline his own series called Batman Beyond Rebirth as part of DC's Rebirth initiative. He'd be a prominent fixture in the books from there. Most recently, he starred in comics like the series Batman Beyond Neo-Gothic. All things considered, he's been a pretty busy superhero. Popularity. With a cult classic show that expanded on the mythology and a new life within the comics, Terry McGinnis had staked his claim as Batman. He's arguably the best possible successor to the mantle and someone that a lot of fans just can't quite get enough of. In fact, for years, so many have been clamoring for more, like perhaps a live-action or animated Batman Beyond film, or a revival of the original show.
Would you like to return to the character in something like that, or would you rather see the torch passed, I guess, so to speak?
No, hell no, I don't want to see the torch passed.
It's uncertain if plans like those will ever come to fruition, but we know we'd absolutely love to see them unfold one day. So to summarize, once Terry was created, he had a lot that he'd have to prove to the fans. After all, he wasn't Bruce Wayne, but those stark differences to Bruce ultimately ended up being what made him so great. He was a breath of fresh air, younger, faster, and snarkier.
Don't mention it.
Sure, it's hard to beat the original, but we think that he comes pretty darn close.
It's only the suit that's out of commission, not Batman.
What's your opinion on Terry McGinnis? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Watch Mojo videos.
Come on, it took me weeks to get tickets for this show. It's Shway.
It's Schwarbage.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.